It is never too late for a rebrand. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to start making different decisions. If you are a person and you are at a place in your life where you're sick and tired of you're tired of not getting the goals that you set out for yourself, you are tired of just not taking yourself seriously, and you're tired of not getting what you want out of life, it's time for a rebrand. Duh! Before we get started, my name is Shanti Ringfield. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel and don't forget to follow me across all social media platforms. I checked my analytics the other day and I seen that most of y'all watching my videos are not subscribers. Let's lock it in. Let's tie the knot. Become a subscriber, especially if this is not your first time here. You're not new here. Come on. You know what to do. Click the subscribe button. But as you can tell from the title of today's video, we are talking about rebranding or reinventing yourself. And one thing about me, I love a good rebrand. I love a good reinvention. Okay. Because if I'm not getting the results that I want out of life, I'm going to try something again. If ABC don't work, I'm going to try CBA. If that don't work, I'm going to try BBA. If that don't work, I'm going to try CCA. I'm the type of person who is going to try again and again and again and again and again until I get what I want. And sometimes that means that you have to adjust. Sometimes that means that you have to shift a little, and that's okay. Rebranding is basically becoming the type of person who actually achieves the goals that you set for yourself. So rebranding is becoming, changing your brand or image and actually becoming the type of person who gets the things that you say you want to get. So if you know that you want to be a fit person and you have not become fit yet, maybe you've had the goal for years to get in shape. Maybe you've had a goal for, a year and nothing has happened. Nothing has changed for you. Then the problem is not the goal. The problem is, and the goal is obtainable. There's no goal that we have set for ourselves that somebody else has not achieved before, which means that it's possible, but you have to become the type of person that achieves that goal. If you say you want to be fit, you got to become a type of person who is fit. What is the actions and behaviors of a person who's actually fit? If you say that you want to stop dealing with BS from guys and in dating, you have to become the type of woman who doesn't deal with BS in dating, whether that means stepping up your self-love, your self-worth, your discernment. You have to become that. You say you want to get a job that makes more money, you got to become the type of person who has a high paying job. And a lot of times when I see rebranding content, it is a lot of surface level tips and things that you need to do. And although I do think that appearance and how you present yourself and the physical things, I think that they matter, but I do not think that they're nearly as important as the inside, because when you start to change and transform on the inside, there are certain things physically that you just won't do or that you will naturally do. You will naturally want to take better care of yourself if you actually love and care about yourself, But in order to become someone new, you cannot just look new. You can't just get a mani and pedi and, oh, I'm different. You can't just change your hair and, oh, I'm different. You have to actually be new. If you get all of these things, you dress it up, you get a new bag, you get a new wardrobe, a new hairstyle, new nails, but you got the same mindset, you got the same attitude, you have the same habits and behaviors, baby, you're going to look new and be the same person and continue to get the same muddy subpar outcomes. That's why it's so important to focus on the inside first and let the outside come after. The external should not be the main focus. The internal has to be a priority. And I will say that it's not about completely shunning any parts of you. It's not about ditching your identity altogether. And when I think about people in general, I don't think anybody's all good or all bad. I think people are mainly good and mainly bad. There are some people who are more bad than good, but I'm sure they've done something nice in their lives before. Good people, I think, are just mainly good, but they do bad things too. We're all imperfect, right? And I think the same thing comes when we're talking about a rebrand. It's not to say that you need to completely just get rid of the person and the experiences and try to forget everything everything and just shun who you used to be. No, it's just to say that you want to lead with your best qualities and best characteristics. The good is already in you. The good is already there. The material is already there. Rebranding is just simply further developing those things that are already laying dormant inside you, but you wanted to push them to the forefront. So if you are a person that is always snoozing your alarm, but you have the desire to be a person that wakes up early and goes in the morning, having that desire is honestly enough. Like, that is good enough, but you want to become the type of person that actions align with your desires, and that's what you lead with. Like, you don't want to lead with the lesser part of you. You don't want to lead with the low hanging fruit. You know what I mean? Like, it's really just about putting your best foot forward. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, not the best version of anybody else, not a whole new person. Like, you already have the canvas to work with. You're alive, you're breathing, you're well. That's enough. That's all you got to have. It's literally about crafting what God already gave you, sculpting what you already have to work with. And honestly, it's really about being real with yourself. I think that can be the hardest part for some of us, just looking in the mirror and being honest with yourself and saying that I am where I am in life because of the decisions that I've made. I'm not where I am in life because of my mom, because of my dad, because of my family, because of my job, because of my friends, because someone else. No, it's about taking accountability. I am where I am in life because of the previous decisions that I've made. And luckily, if I choose to make different decisions, if I choose to adopt different behaviors and different patterns, I can be somewhere completely different. And that's what I love about rebranding yourself. Like, we can always pivot. We can always move, it's fluid. We can do whatever we want to do, but you just have to make sure that you're accountable. People who do not hold accountability for their actions and for themselves, people who are not real and honest with themselves, are the people who always stay stuck and stagnant in life. The people that you see that are constantly moving up and constantly growing in life and constantly getting the things that they say they want to get, or constantly working for something and actually achieving those goals, those are the people who are very honest with themselves. They use constructive criticism and they're not afraid to analyze themselves and shift accordingly. So let's talk about it. How do you actually rebrand? I'm going to give you guys 5 easy steps to rebranding or reinventing your life that I have used for myself, and they have worked so much. If you have been following me on my content creator journey, I started social media. Honestly, I started social media a long time ago, but more seriously in 2021. And even if you just look at the type of content I posted in 2021 versus where I am now, so much growth has taken place. So many rebrands have happened. Like, I've presented myself online as so many people. Like, I used to make fashion content. I used to have a boutique. I'm doing fitness content now. I was giving advice. I was making funny content. Like, babes, one thing about me is when it's time to shift, I'ma move. I'm not going to ask no questions. I ain't going to be sad about it. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. We are here to live. We are here to experience different things, and we are here to experience and just live life. Like, make a shift. What? And personally, there was a point in time in my life where I was just like, who the heck am I right now? I feel like there was a point in my life where I was just leading with my traumas, and that is how I was behaving, and that was a result of the outcomes I was getting. So for example, I had went through a lot of relationship stuff, and I feel like that hardened my heart when I was dating. It kept me closed off, but it also had me attracting people who are also closed off, who are also emotionally unavailable. And honestly, it was just a whole cycle of things going on. Like, I was stressed. I wasn't really working out like that. I didn't feel healthy. I didn't feel motivated. Rebranding my life, setting better boundaries helped me to just get on a path. Like, I remember being so confused at one point in time, especially in my earlier 20s. I used to be so confused. Like, what am I doing? What is my purpose in life? And it's crazy. And Woo! I'm so thankful. I thank God that now I'm so much clear on those things. Like, I know what my purpose is. I know why I was placed on this earth. I know what I'm good at. I know my strengths, my weaknesses. But I will say that there was a time where I didn't know, and it seemed like putting missing puzzle pieces together. And yeah, rebranding, reinventing myself, these 5 steps helped me tremendously to just make a 360 or make a 180 in life. 360 is a full circle, right? It helped me to make a 180. Okay, so tip number 1 is to self-assess. Self-assessment is literally key. You cannot skip this step. You want to write down everything that you don't like in your life, in every area of your life that you want to change. For example, maybe you want a better job, and maybe you want better friends, and maybe you want to attract different partners. You need to write that down. Career, you need to write down dating, you need to write down friends. Every single area of your life that you want a change to happen or a change to occur, you need to write it down. Dedicate a little notebook to your self-growth, or even if you are not like a writer type of person, you can do a Google Doc. I got Google Docs, I got notebooks, I got it in my notes, you name it. But just dedicate a document to your personal brand and your self-growth. Number 2 is to write out very specific outcomes for the goals that you want to achieve. So if you know that you want a better job, you want a higher paying job, and you want to feel more appreciated at work, you want to write down a specific goal for that. I want to enjoy my job. I want to look forward to going to work every day. I want to be making $80,000 a year, or I want to be making $65,000 a year. Be very specific in your goals. Write down your goals and be very specific about what you want. Even if it's uncomfortable, because I used to be uncomfortable and a little shy about writing down goals, like anybody could see them but me. And it used to be like, am I asking for too much? But just write it down. Like, just write it down. Shoot for the stars. Nobody's going to check you about it. And honestly, when you write down things and then you start setting goals and plans for them, they start to actually make sense, and you start to see how you can actually obtain it. But you got to write it down. You can't be too scared to even write down what you want. Tip number 3, you need to develop a strategy to actually obtain these goals. So if you're saying that you want a higher paying job, you want a job that maybe you're only making $30,000 a year, you want a job that pays you $65,000 a year, and you want to feel appreciated. What is a strategy to get that job? Maybe you need to be applying to 10 jobs a week on LinkedIn. Maybe you need to pay somebody to spruce up your LinkedIn page. Maybe it is that you need to revamp your social media and start looking for clients. If you're an entrepreneur, maybe you need to be cold DMing 10 people a week. Maybe you're trying to be a content creator and you need to be posting every day, and you need to set a constant posting schedule. Whatever it is that you want to do, come up with a specific strategy as to how you're going to obtain those goals. Any goal that I've ever made and didn't actually have a plan on how I was going to obtain it, those are goals that I never got. Like, I started to achieve my goals and see them actually materialize when I actually set realistic strategies and plans in place to achieve those goals. If you want to be the fit girl, you need to set a strategy in place to become that girl, because you're not her right now. And you're not her right now because you don't have a plan and you don't have a strategy. But the strategy may be that you need to be in bed by 9 so you can wake up before you go to work. You want to wake up at 5, or you want to wake up at 6, get you a 30-minute walk-in before work. Like, you have to make a strategy that will help to break down barriers that have been stopping you from becoming the better person, the better version of yourself. Tip number 4, you want to educate yourself in the areas that you need growth, in the areas that you know you're struggling in. At one point in time, I knew that my EQ, emotional intelligence, was extremely low. And I knew my emotional intelligence was low because, for example, one time I was talking to this guy, right? I had just met him. And on our first date, we had gotten into an argument. And it's crazy. I can't even go into the story, but the reason that we got into an argument was because basically he was being insecure about something that was so petty. He ended up being the most insane person ever. But honestly, if I had better emotional intelligence in that situation and before that situation, I would have never even been on a date with him to begin with, because it started off crazy and that is literally how the rest of the relationship went. And the fact that there was even a rest of the relationship. But I was a self-aware queen. I knew that my emotional intelligence was low because I would be continuously doing the same things. And so I sought out knowledge. I sought to get help. I was watching certain videos. I was watching sermons on emotional intelligence. I was watching videos and consuming content on the things that I needed help with. I was reading books. I was listening to self-help podcasts on it. And that helped me tremendously, because sometimes it's not that you don't want to do better. Sometimes it's literally that you just do not have the knowledge. You don't have the education to become the person that you want to be, or you don't know what it takes or what you have to do. And that's the beauty of social media. I love social media for that reason, because it gives us access to the brains of people that we would never have access to. People who are much more successful than us in certain areas. Like, never in a million years, if we didn't have social media, would I be able to just like listen to a millionaire give me tips on how to save or invest in my 20s. So really take advantage of that. Take advantage of the time that we're in. Knowledge is so accessible. Do the research. Educate yourself on certain things suits you as well. Like, you don't have to just read books. If you like podcasts, listen to podcasts, but make it a part of your daily routine. I feel like I learned a lot in a very short span of time because I made it a part of my daily routine. Like, as I was driving to work, I'm listening to this podcast on this. Whenever I have downtime, I might scroll a little bit, but I'm going to redirect myself. Maybe I spend more time on a book, or I spend more time researching the topic in the area that I need to grow in. Replace some of your entertainment time and downtime with seeking knowledge in the areas that you know you need to grow in. And last but not least, connect yourself with like-minded people. Connect yourself with people who are supportive of your rebrand and who genuinely love and support you. The hardest thing ever can be to be trying to grow, trying to evolve, and you're constantly surrounded by people who want to push you back down. Like, you're trying to go this way and people want to continue to drag you back. You're trying to stop drinking, but they keep inviting you to drink, or every time you go out, they're pressuring you to drink. You're trying to stop doing something. You're trying to get more in shape, but every time you're around certain friends, y'all are always eating all this junk food. Like, surround yourself with people who have similar goals and like minds, and it will make achieving your goals so much easier. And I'm not saying that you can't have any friends who, have completely different goals, because you can, but you need to have a community and a network of people where your growth is fostered. Like, you're a little plant. You need to have people around you who are constantly watering you and repotting your soil, and you're doing the same for them. It is nearly impossible to grow when you are constantly surrounded by and in network and community with people who do not value growth in the area that you value it. So make your life easier and make your rebranding and reinvention process easier by putting yourself in places and spaces with people who have similar goals than you. You never know what you'll learn, and you never know when a missing piece may be added to your puzzle. I hope this video was helpful. Those are all of the tips that I have on rebranding. Please feel free to leave a comment below if this video was helpful, or if you have any other tips on how to rebrand or reinvent yourself. We could use them. Okay. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you made it this far. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, and follow me across all other social media platforms at Shanti Ringfield. Love you guys, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.